people that are in this team at the zone level that help us help you with public image. This class is going to be presented by Billy Black. She's the past district governor of 7670 in the year Rotary year 1516. That's the western half of the state of North Carolina, 7670.
You're being very generous, Alex, saying half. We're the western nub.
Okay, well, nub yourself if you want. That's okay. Point is that, and I'll move forward. Billy's one of my classmates. We were DGs together. Billy knows exactly what she's talking about in several options. And let me just explain Billy for just a second. She was an assistant Rotary coordinator for 3 years. And now she's going to have been an assistant public image coordinator for 3 years. She's starting a third year coming up this July. She is a wealth of knowledge. Billy's going to talk today about using Rotary's brand. Here are some admin rules. Please mute yourself. It's a relatively small class. At the moment, we have 17. We may build that up a bit, and I do appreciate that. But this is also a business day. If you need to step out, step out. Just do us a favor and make sure you're muted as you leave. And we are going to record this, and it is recording already. So we'll record it, and we'll post it at the end of the weekend, not tonight, because there are a couple other public image classes for the Rotaract Presidential Conference for Holger that are happening Saturday and Sunday. So I will post all of those, and all I can promise you is by Monday night, and I'll send out an email to the same blast that gets mine all the time to let you know that where they are. Thank you very much, Billy. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. I am going to close my video because we've noticed in these presentations that our bandwidth is getting stretched. So I'll just close it, and maybe y'all will be able to hear better. Can everybody hear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is all about Rotary branding. And several years ago, when I started with Alex, he handed me a booklet. And in that booklet was another booklet called Rotary's Voice and Visual Identity Guide. So almost everything I'm going to talk about here is in that book. If you don't have that book, I'm going to show you where to find that. So let's look. If you look at this website that I have in red,
Billy,
that's
there
our,
it is. It's jumped up now.
Okay, that's our zone website for public image, membership, and foundation. So you go there, and you'll see that we have templates, resources, events, and special projects. We're about to close our video contest that you see on the right-hand side. And you see on the left-hand side, 2021, 2022 PI resources. If you click on that, you will see this toolbox, and it is full to the brim with tools that you can use to make your job easier. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the voice and visual guide, and that's the one that I'm referencing. And it looks just like this, and they updated it this year, so I have put the updated version in there for you. So what is a brand? Can anybody tell me what is a brand? I know who's out there. Nico, tell me what a brand is.
The brand is pretty much, it shows what the company is. It's what everybody identifies, an organization or a product.
Excellent. And I like your second piece, that it's the perception that others have. And I love the picture. If you were not in last session, there was a picture of a little kitty cat looking in the mirror, and he's looking at himself, and he sees himself as a lion. So we might see ourselves, the kitty cats that we are, as lions, but we need to put that perception out there so others see that lion as our brand. What it's not. It is our logo, our vision, and our essence, but it's not just the separate pictures. It's what people think about us, and all these things put together. So I want to talk about the master brand logo. I can't remember how many years ago, because it was in 2015 that they really began to push the master brand. There was a huge survey, and they asked people all around the world, what is Rotary? And the consensus was, it was old men getting together to have a meal. And so we've been fighting that. And one of the things they said is our logo is so small that you can't read what it is. So they changed the logo to something called the master brand. And the master brand has the cog and it has Rotary to the left of it. And it also has Rotary International in it. This is called the master brand. So when we ask you to use the master brand in your Facebook, on your website, and your newsletters, this is what we're talking about. But if it's smaller than 1/2 of an inch, we encourage you to use the master brand simplified. So if it's very small on your lapel, or if it's printed on the back of a t-shirt or something like that, you can't print Rotary International on there. So this is what they did. They simplified it for us. So this is the master brand and the simplified master brand, 2 things that I want you to use. Same thing with Interact, Rotaract. You'll see Rotary Youth Exchange, all of those things that we have a logo for. There is a master brand logo, and there is also the simplified. This is not the simplified, but it shows you how you can use the contrasting master brand logo. And what's the simplified one? Let's see, is Karen still out there?
Yes, I'm here.
Karen, did you hear what I said the simplified one was?
Yeah, it was the one without the writing in it, wasn't it?
Excellent. Yes, great. Because people tell us that we throw out words just like we throw out acronyms. And I want to make sure that everybody's on the same page with the master brand logo. This is our, I'm blanking. This is called the Mark of Excellence. This is our pin. So you can still wear your Rotary pin that looks just like this. The Mark of Excellence should never be on a page all by itself. Somewhere else on that page, we should have the master brand. So this is the Mark of Excellence. So we have the Mark of Excellence, the master brand, and the master brand simplified. I'm going to show you some examples that have been used by people all over the district, including directors and presidents of Rotary. So we all do this because we think, oh, that looks so cool. Tell me what is wrong with the horse. Anybody raise their hand or just jump right in and tell me what's wrong with the horse?
You can never overlay a symbol or an image over the excellence, the seal of excellence.
Correct. You can't have it, the seal of excellence. Number one, it shouldn't be used by itself, and you can't try to box it in. And you notice that's just part of the seal of excellence. So the mark of excellence.
Mark.
So that doesn't work. So what about the other one? Anybody have an
It should be
idea?
by itself. You should, the mark of excellence should not be all by itself. It should be with the master brand.
Excellent. And that's awesome. You guys are picking up on it very quickly. These are really cool ideas. And when you put it out there, you think, how creative is that? I never can think of creative things. I want you to save your creativity for your projects and then put your project out there with your people and then just use the master brand. So
Billy?
Yes,
Alex, can you back up one slide?
I could,
I'm
maybe.
very sorry. Thank you. An additional thing that's wrong with the one on the left is that there needs to be clear space between the edge of the mark of excellence and the, shall we say, the shooting stars coming out from it. You can find that information in this same document Billy's talking about right now.
Absolutely. And I have to go back and read over it. And I had to read over it again this morning. And obviously I missed something.
Nope, it's all right. That's why we're a team, right?
Okay, so the lesson here, and I want you to look at the 3 logos here. They all have something, the same thing wrong with it. They are distorting the image or they're cropping it to fit into words or photos. In particular, don't use a 0 or an O to put it around our logo. So these are 3 examples of what not to do. And they're all very clever. But again, let's save our clever for our projects. Any questions about any of those? Tim, I see you out there. The other piece, there is a page in this document, this visual guide, that talks about colors. And there are very specific colors that Rotary suggests that we use. These are not them. Do not recolor the logo, and particularly don't change the font. The font that Rotary uses is a bit of an Arial font. It is not, doesn't have serifs on it, and it's not skewed. So make sure that you don't change the color or change the font. Any questions there? Okay, let's look at the master brand again, and I'm going to show you 4 examples of how our master brand was used incorrectly. And I'm going to put a red slash through it so that you know what I want you to do is tell me what's wrong. So this one's for Tim. Oh, Nico's got his hand raised.
Hey, Billy, so question, going back 2 slides for the 2021 where they use the master brand for and replacing the 0. I mean, if it was spaced out the proper amount between the two twos, would that be okay?
Technically not. I mean, as we always say, there's no Rotary police, but Alex has told us that we are the Rotary police. We have to figure out how to politely tell you that you need to come up with another way, and can I help you? The reason it's not, it's because there's not enough white space around it. It really has to have more white space from the outside of the goal to the next word. And the second rule is do not crop it to fit inside the word, a 0 or an O.
Gotcha. All right, thank
Alex,
you.
do you have any other comments about that? Alex?
No, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No, ma'am. You're right on spot.
Okay. I'm right on spot, huh? Okay, so here we're back to this one. Okay, Tim, I told you I would ask you about this one. What is wrong with this logo? This looks like it's on a sweater or something.
I can barely read the Rotary because it's blue on blue.
Excellent. You've got it. It asks that you have plenty of contrast. So in this case, you might use a white word, Rotary, in order to make this more readable. Okay. Hey, Dave, how about you? What's wrong with this one?
Well, it's the
Just-
wrong color. It's the wrong color. It's white. It's a white wheel, I guess.
Well, you could use a white wheel, but what they say, you've got it right. If you have a color photo,
Oh, yeah.
use a color logo. It looks much better. And again, there's a couple pages in that guide that tell you all about these. All right. Who wants to tackle this one? Anybody out there?
Wrong font.
Perfect.
Okay, it has a wrong font, and there's one more thing. The wrong font is the biggest one because it has serifs on it.
Looks like the wheel's not exactly right.
Well, they may be skewed, and that may be my bad as I stuck them in the pictures. But if you notice, do you see the little gray oval?
Mhm.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
we're not supposed to contain the logo inside a shape. So that's, we're back to don't put the logo inside the 0 or the O. Don't put the whole logo inside of an oval. And this is kind of cool. What's wrong with this? I'm going to have to look at the list to call on y'all.
I'm going to say it's not only the font, but also the fact that there's a reverse image.
I'm sorry, I did. Absolutely. You're not supposed to distort. And it looks like it's kind of italics almost, it's like somebody stretched it from corner to corner. So we're not supposed to distort the logo. Now, how many of you've done a great job with this, But how many of you go to your local printer and say, I want you to print us up some t-shirts, and you take the logo to them? Does anybody do that? It's okay to tell me. We won't look. I think Mary Burge is on the call, so be careful.
We have.
Okay, that's unless they have gone through the process to be an authorized licensed dealer, you really should not use them. And let me tell you why. We have somebody in our district who has gone through the process, and the license, number one, is a little expensive. And so you want to honor those people that have gone to that trouble. But she also has to submit a t-shirt example and a hat example and so on and so on for everything she's going to offer. And Rotary does not allow you to print with that until it passes the test.
Wow.
And so it has to have a certain amount of stitching and be a certain, you remember when we said if it's less than a half an inch, it needs to be the simplified version. So it's not just handing somebody a logo and saying, print me up 30 t-shirts like this. So, and I really want you to get in the habit of using an authorized licensed dealer. Nico, you have your hand raised, and then I'll finish on this thought.
Billy, it's a question on that one. So now if we're using the district logo that we're able to do in Brand Central, so it would be Rotary and then district whatever on there, or if it has a club, I thought my understanding was that we don't have to go through a licensed vendor for that. It's only when we use the master brand or just a Rotary logo.
Alex, you want to weigh in on that? I would say you always have to.
And I would join in and say that Rotary wants you to always. However, there are opportunities, and I won't be able to quote them. I can do the research and get back to everyone on this call. I'll send it to you. But the policy for a while was you could actually, if the item you were making was not going to be for sale and you were not going to turn a profit on it and you weren't going to do anything with it other than hand one to every club member, shall we say, you could get away with that using a local vendor. But they really frown upon it, and you're supposed to ask Rotary International's permission to do that. The phrase you're looking for with the Rotary master brand and then the club name underneath it, the lockup is what that's called, is a legitimate thing that you can use. Again, they want you to try to find somebody that's an authorized dealer or an authorized, is that the right word? Dealer?
Licensed, authorized
Vendor.
vendor.
Thank you. Thank you. But Nico, the honest answer, not wearing a police hat, is as long as you're not turning profit on it and as long as you're not selling it to the public, it's okay. And as long as it's being worn internally, shall we say, it's okay. It's a fine line that I'll try to dance around or quit dancing around. I'll get you the references and I'll show them to you. I'll share them with you. And then I'm going to tell you that it's up to y'all, and I'm going to turn around and walk out of the room. Does that make sense? Because of every club as a DG, you go visit an awful lot of clubs and you'll see an awful lot of things. And the first thing out of your mouth shouldn't be, hey, y'all can't do that. Y'all know that.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But yeah, I'll stop there.
Good point, Nico, and thank you clearing that up. I thought we had checked on it and they'd said it was just shirts for our club. So just our members that were doing it. So, but yes, thank you for your, what's the word?
The explanation, which again is very fuzzy. It's a fuzzy
explanation. Thank you.
It is. Sorry.
Yes.
But I promise you, I will get the reference and I will send it to you. All of it.
Okay. Well, just to tell you, Nico, when I was governor, I got a banner from each one of my clubs, and one of the members of our district made it into a quilt for me with "Be a Gift to the World" symbol in the middle. And I got permission from Rotary International, and you have to go through a written permission policy. And I told them what I wanted to do. And we printed the cog all the way, it was stitched in for quilting purposes. And they gave me a one-time dispensation to do that. So ponder that. And my thoughts were, this is going to go all around the district and people are going to see it. And I don't want, as the district governor, to say, oh, well, hint, hint, wink, wink, I just did it. Don't worry about it. So as district governor, Nico, you need to ponder that. If you're going to pass it out, it may be one thing, but if you're going to sell it, please make sure you've got a licensed vendor. Okay.
Yeah,
Moving.
thank you
Yeah.
thank you for clarifying that. I know zone last year we discussed it, and I thought when we looked it up, if it was just the master brand, just the Rotary logo, licensed vendor, but if it's club or district specific with the lockup, then we would be okay.
Okie
But-
dokie.
We'll wait and see.
And it's
Alrighty.
just like the patches that are circulating for some of the district governor years. Those aren't technically approved either. So same thing.
Now, this is a page, you might say, what else does the voice and visual guide have in it? It has lots of stuff. It even has how you say things if you're looking for some words. But this is one of the pages that has your color palette that Rotary suggests. And if you use Canva, you can load this color palette up and then just grab whatever color you need so that you're getting the right color of royal blue and the right color of gold, because if you know about these colors, they're very specific, and one off, it makes it look funky. So here's your colors if you're wondering about how to do the colors and which colors, and it tells you right underneath it all of the different numbers, like the hex number that a printer would need to print things for you. And here are
Speaking, how would you load that into Canva?
If you go to Brand Center on Rotary.my Rotary, there are, that page is there, and I just loaded that page up. And Ashley, are you out there?
I am. Can you hear me, Billy?
Yes. Can you give her better guidance than I just gave her?
Yeah. Can you go back one slide, Billy, just so I can,
Yes.
It has a better reference point for her. So in Canva, you can build out basically your brand template colors, which is really helpful. That way you can build them out, and that way you're just selecting them quickly. So you're going to want to use the hex number. So if you're looking at this slide, it's the 5th one down. And it's typically a number, sometimes a number and a letter combo, 6 digits. But the hex number is the one you're going to use to build out your brand template in Canva.
And so they can find these fonts on Canva, correct?
Yes, so you'll see the ones on the right are going to be the ones you're going to find in Canva. You're not going to find Fru de Gur or Sentinel in Canva, but you will find Open Sans in Canva. There's also a Georgia-like font in Canva you can use, but yes, you'll find the ones on the right, the free option ones are going to be the ones you're going to find in Canva.
Okay, did that answer the question on the table? Great. I am just a Canva novice, but I'm really enjoying Ashley teaching us how to use it. So something else that goes along with this whole branding is making sure that whenever possible, you use what Rotary puts out there for us. And one of the big ones is the Rotary vision statement. Each time you put a Facebook post or perhaps a story on your website, instead of just putting out there that here is a coin drop for cart for the Rotary Club of Franklin Daybreak, you might add this, that together we see a world where people unite. Or you might say, we are a group of leaders that are eradicating polio from the face of the earth. So just don't leave them with your little piece of here's our coin drop, or here's our meeting, or here's our speaker. Tell who we are. Every opportunity that you get, tell who we are. And this is the best way I know, between the vision statement and then my computer has frozen, and the essence statement. Same robust, this is who we are. You miss an opportunity if you just put a picture out of y'all and your club, if you don't tell what else we do in communities around the world. This booklet also talks a little bit about voice, the voice that you should use. And if you're not too sure, think about what you should be saying to the world, that we're persevering, we're determined. And then there's a phrase there. I won't read it for you, but it lets people know that this is one of the traits of Rotary clubs, that we are persevering, we're inspiring. And so we motivate. Again, I'm not going to read through it with you. We're compassionate, we care about people. And again, take a phrase and use that with your Facebook page. And the last one is, we're smart. Obviously, we're smart. We started with water because everything starts with water, and without access to clean water, peace can't exist. What a great story that you tell there when you're telling about a water project that your club is doing, and the club project is very small, but you say, we start with water because everything starts with water, and without it, peace can't exist. What a much better statement that is on Facebook or on your website. So other things that you can talk about with your stories that you put out there on the website are our fellowship that we build, the integrity that we have, and there's a great place to mention the 4-way test. Diversity, talk about what your club is doing in diversity. And we've recently had district training, and past district governor Tiffany said diversity is not just man, woman, age, things like that. It's also, do you have a person that runs a tattoo parlor? Do you have all these people, instead of having bank presidents and real estate agents, how diverse can you be in your membership? And of course, service and leadership are always big ones that you can talk about. Our values. Remember, we're promoting Rotary to build up the membership so that foundation numbers come along. And this is us. This is the districts that we serve, and our cell numbers, our email address, and we're here to help. So at any time that you need one of us, just contact us and we'll be there to help. And those of you that are district governors and district public image chairs, your club should be coming to you for help, and you can come to us. But if for some reason your public image chair is getting overwhelmed, or you're getting overwhelmed with club visits, give us a call and we'll pitch in and do whatever we can to help you all meet those needs. Okay, so I'm going to open it up to questions. Anybody? Oh, we've got lots of comments in here in the chat. Did we cover everything that was in the chat?
I've been answering them as they've come along.
Wonderful.
But let me, if I don't mind, Billy, let me, instead of asking everybody to read, one of the questions was the copyright, the little R at the bottom behind the master brand, occasionally behind the mark of excellence. It's just a copyright notification. So if you find a version that has it on it, great. If it's not there, great. It's not a big deal. I would not recommend y'all taking time to try to remove it. There are plenty of copies out there on the web that don't have it on it now. However, it is our copyright. Work smarter, not harder. If you find what you want without it, or if it bothers you, there are plenty of versions out there without it on it, but it's not a big deal.
Okay, Alex, that says we have 2 people with raised hands. Sue Ann.
Yes. My question isn't so much about the use of logos, which I find, is always tricky sometimes because you think something's okay and it's not. But if someone can direct me moving forward, are there resources to help us who are the district PI chairs put our public image workshop on, our people of action workshop that I know we're expected to do? Are there going to be opportunities at the zone level to kind of get some resources to help our districts?
In that toolbox that I showed you in the first, I think you were there when the first slides went up.
Mm-hmm.
There is actually a workshop resource. It tells you things that you might want to do, and you can do a few of them or all of them, depending on how much time you have. But there are also all the resources like this voice and visual guide. There's a people of action guide in there. So anything you can imagine is in there. And if that's something that, are you going to put it on? Is it something that's going to go on next month?
7600, we do ours the first Saturday in August.
Okay.
simultaneous with membership and foundation. And we're trying to come up with a way to avoid what's happening. We've been siloing people. You know, they go to membership, they go to foundation or public image, but not all of them. So that's the other challenge.
Well,
Yeah, that would be, go ahead, Alex.
We'll be happy to help any way we can. And if that means we need to mark our calendars to help you do presentations that day, just let us know offline later tonight, or let us know.
Oh,
We'll mark
excellent.
those dates now. We can come in and help. We can support you. We can present for you, whatever.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Tell me the date again.
That first Saturday in August, so it would be the 7th, August the 7th.
Okay. I'll mark it now. I'll try my best to protect it. And
Appreciate it.
And
we'll get together offline.
What district? Oh,
7600.
7600.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That's Ashley up there.
Mhm.
Any other questions?
This is Bob Wilfong. Can you hear me? I have a question.
Yeah, there's a hand. Yeah, Bob,
Yes.
sorry I missed it. I apologize.
No problem. I'm a newbie to Rotary, just as a preface. To set the scene for you, I joined in November. I'm the incoming public image chair for my local club. And I was curious if there are, as part of this brand Bible, is there video elements that we can pull from?
We actually have a YouTube channel that is Z33 TV. So there's quite a few resources out there, but that sounds like a great idea, Alex. We could put some of these pieces.
Can you amplify the question, Bob?
There are videos on the brand center that are approved for your use, and they're sized in various ways as well. So what's really nice about those, Bob, is that you don't have to create your own videos if you're just trying to get, if you want it for social media, if you even want it for television, that kind of thing. They already have videos that are brand compliant done in the brand center. Yes.
And did they have like openings and closes just with the Rotary logo?
Some of them do, yeah. And there's a. Do you use Canva? Do you use PowerPoint? Are you talking about one of those two medias, or?
I'm thinking more specifically on video. I edit on Adobe Premiere Pro, and building like a graphic open that is Rotary International, and then going into a video element, and then ending it with a Rotary International close. Like those video elements, are those built or available anywhere that you know of?
I don't recall them being separate on the brand center, unfortunately. They are part of the videos they have on there that you may be able to extract from it. Okay. I don't recall last time I was in there seeing anything. The majority of the videos are 30-second or 60-second videos, not the quick 2-second clips that you need. But it is a great idea, and maybe something we could advocate for RI to produce.
Yeah, I know from a grassroots level, a ground level, that's becoming, as you know, that's more and more how people are posting on social medias with video clips. So to have a water stamp available, to have an open and close available would be a great help, and the protocol for using those.
Do you feel comfortable enough to? Are you capable of extracting them from other videos? Because I can on iMovie using an Apple product.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Maggie Kraft, did you have a question? Maggie?
Yes, hi.
Okay.
I've got two screens and I had to get the microphone way over there. Thank you. I just wanted to give you guys a shout out. I'm calling you from California, and I don't know how I got invited to this event.
Yay!
I'm the current president of Arcata Sunrise in Northern California in the Redwoods, and my year ends in June, and I've done my whole year on Zoom. And I knew that would happen. I told everybody, just be prepared. It's a one-off year. We're doing everything different. Don't panic. But I'm looking toward when I'm not the president, and I'd like to get more involved with my club, with our public media, because we can do a lot more. So I really appreciate all your expertise and being able to meet people. I was wondering why this was so early, and I knew that I realized tomorrow morning, you may not see me tomorrow morning at 6, but at 9 o'clock this morning was okay. So I'm just really happy to meet you all, and thank you for all the expertise.
Thank you. What a treat.
Maggie, I'm going to drop my email address to you on the chat.
Thank you.
Need anything else from us, let us know.
I appreciate it. Isn't Zoom wonderful?
It is.
And I'm going to put in chat the website that Ashley has created for us that has all of those resources. So it's in chat right now. And if you go there, that's where you can find all of those resources I showed you on about the third slide. And I'll put my email address in. So if you have a specific question, I can either answer it or I can find you the answer.
Who uses brand in any, does anyone have again, a positive story or a terribly negative story? I got one of each, actually. So here's my negative. I just moved from Virginia to a different state, and I'm in a new district now, and therefore a new club now. And the club I joined has just recently purchased an entire slew, Nico, of polo shirts. And I didn't know that. And they have their own club logo, which is not the typical Rotary Master brand with the lockup. And I said, hey, you know, this isn't really, can I help y'all change this logo to something that is a little more appropriate? And I was met with a lot of, hey, you're the new guy. You just need to sit down and shut up. And I did. So I'm a very quiet member now of my new Rotary Club. Oh, well.
We'll get you a
offer
Rotary
to help.
Police uniform.
I want a hat.
Alex, I'm kind of 1 foot in one club and a foot in another club. So I'm about to transfer to another club. So I'll keep that in mind.
Well, it's
What part of Virginia were you in?
I was in the southwest corner of Virginia, south of Roanoke and north of Winston-Salem, Greensboro, Martinsville, if you know the state well enough.
Martinsville.
Oh, for you, Sue-Ann, straight out 58 for like 4.5 miles.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Yep. Hey, we do appreciate y'all's time. I'm sorry, Billy. Pardon me. You good?
I'm good. Yes, thank you so much for your time. And we're not just going to keep hanging around. We'll go ahead and stop the video and we'll let you go about your day. And at the top of the hour, we're going to have Alex, who's going to talk to us about those public image tools.
And you will hear, and again, this program is set up so that we don't know if you're going to be in every class or not. So you're going to hear some things that are going to be very similar to what Billy just said to you. However, and we'll go through the voice and visual guide for a little bit, and I'll modify that a little bit so it's a little shorter version than what I had planned. But still, we look forward to y'all joining us on the top of the hour. We're going to go mute and dark and quiet, and we'll catch up with you again at the top of the hour. If you can't join us again, do very much thank you for what you've done so far. Maggie, good luck in California. Thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate that very much. That's exciting. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Billy.
All right. See
Thanks,
some of y'all at
Nico.
the top of the hour. Thank y'all.
Great presentation as always. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Frank.
Tim.